What's happening? And welcome back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay, with a healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life with an awesome and incredible day. And today, I'm going to look back 10 years. I'm going to look back 10 years on what I've learned after living an intentional, healthy life. I talk to you about, some of the things that, probably mistakes that I've made and just the overall success of intentionally doing something that, is actually easier than many would think. So if you are a 6 or 7 figure business owner, I want to invite you to a special masterclass. Even if you're starting out, this would be great. It'd be great information and knowledge for you. So we're having a special masterclass, the Tax Game Masterclass. That's on August the 22nd, and it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to put that down at the bottom so that those that would like to join the Tax Game Masterclass.com. Right. So those that would like to join the Tax Game Masterclass, you can join. 6 or 7 business owners, 6 or 7 figure business owners. But if you are just starting out or haven't even reached that goal, then you can definitely join as well, because this is going to be great information for you at the taxgamemasterclass.com. Go and register. And it's pretty simple because it's free. All you have to do is show up with a pen and a paper, ready to learn and join the party. So, all right, let's get into this 10 years. It's been 10 years since I intentionally made a decision that health would be my focus. Health, we used to say health is wealth, right? Health is wealth, health is wealth. Yeah, it is. Here's the thing. A lot of times we don't act like it. So prior to, a lot of the mistakes that I had made is that I grew up in an environment where health was important. Like my dad wasn't really he was an exercise person. My mom exercised a little bit. I saw her do something, but for the most part, we were aware of what we should and should not put into our bodies, because that's what it really boils down to. What are we putting into our bodies? And so I used to make mistakes and put all kind of stuff in there. So one of the first things I learned when being intentional is that when you are intentional, you can see how far off you were, and you can see clearly what narratives are. Here's what I mean by that. It's like when I decided to become healthy, what I noticed is, okay, wait a second. Why wasn't I doing this before? Why wasn't I waking up in the morning, going to the gym, doing exercise? Why wasn't I paying attention to what I was eating? Why wasn't I doing that? I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you can't put yourself down. I didn't know why. And then I started to notice how easy it was for other people to not pay attention. I says, wait. So then I had to take a look at, well, what is the cause of why many of us can't get intentional about our health? It's something I did this morning where I was in the supermarket. My wife, she likes to go to Tropical Smoothie and get, a little bowl with yogurt and fruit and stuff like that. And I said, well, we can just do that at home. You don't have to buy that. You can have multiples, for the same price. And so she was like, and I said, well, let me go buy the stuff. Now, one of the things that I started doing is looking at labels. I never looked at a label. I didn't care what was in it. I said, if I like it, I'll just buy it. And, if it's something I shouldn't, chips, but even with that, it's like I look at the label and she wanted some granola. I go and look at the granola label and I says, well, there's certain oils that shouldn't be in it. So what I learned is that when you become intentional about your health, you start paying attention to everything that would derail you from your goals. Like, think about it. If you have a goal to lose weight, there's going to be things that's going to derail. What's the first thing that's going to derail us? It's not working out. You can lose as much weight as you would like without working out. You can ask just about anybody who's a health person. If you change your diet, if you remove all the junk Think about all the junk that's in the food. Right now, if you go down certain aisles, most of the food on those aisles are not mechanically, bioengineered food, which they're saying is not real. So we're actually living in a state of the Jetsons. If you know who the Jetsons are, if you're like over 40, you know who the Jetsons are. We're living in an age where a lot of food is not actually food. So when you think about that, then that will derail our health goals. So that was one thing I learned. Being intentional, reading labels is just a game changer. Stuff that I love. I love beef bacon. But the beef bacon that they sell at my store, I can't buy it because it has nitrates in it. Sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate is something that's not good for your body. Salt is okay. You can eat salt. But here's the thing. Sodium nitrate is like, it just sounds bad. I don't even have to know really what it is to know that it don't sound too good. So when you read the labels, what you find is that, oh, I could derail my whole weight loss health journey, even though I feel like there's people who have said they was eating salads and just eating stuff and they still weren't losing weight. Here's why. Because the salad dressing was full of all kind of junk. Just so much junk. So I learned that reading labels will really help to accelerate how fast and how consistent you can be. Now, I just started reading labels in the past year or two. I wasn't reading labels before. I bought everything. So another thing that I learned is that consistency is the mother of all mothers. It's the mother of mothers. Consistency is. And when I say consistency, it's like the little things. It's like, well, if I consistently drink water, and I replace juice with water, then that's gotta serve me. That's going to do something. If I consistently work out, do some exercise, 20 minutes a day, at least 20 minutes, right? If I consistently do it, that's gotta help. That's going to help some, right? If I consistently, tweak my diet, when I eat, how I eat, how much I eat. They say all you got to do is get in a calorie deficit. So when you're in a calorie deficit, then you have to lose weight. Now, for me, these days, I'm just like building muscle, right? I'm building muscle. So I don't actually pay attention to the scale like I used to, because the scale, I remember when I first started out, I was like 215, 16, 17 pounds. And I said, man, that was too heavy because it was mostly fat. I needed to get down. I got as far down as 185. I went from like 215 to 185. When I went hard. 185. Now I was skinny. I went way down. But here's the thing. Then the sky's the limit. Well, there's no limit. So at that point, I says, well, I got to build muscle. And over the past, I would say 8 years, 9 years, I've been consistently building a pound here, a pound there. Not bodybuilder-ish. What's going to happen is over the next 5 years, I already know, like my body's already adapting. I had to get certain parts of my body stronger, which, like my lower body had to get strong. I had to focus more on my legs, focus more on the lower half, because the lower half is the part of the body that when you get older, that's what really messes people up when you find out, someone's parent fell down and they broke their hip. Yeah, because they weren't strong. Their bones were frail. But when you build the muscle on top of your bones, and what happens is you're not susceptible to some of the things that could happen. And one of the objectives that I had when I started out is when I'm 80. I said, when I'm 80, when I'm 70, whatever age I was, I looked at my dad. My dad's 30 years older than me. So I said, man, no, I was 40 something. So I was like, when I'm 70 something, I saw what my dad looked like. I said, I'm going to look like I'm still 40. So having intention literally is like that's the game changer. All right. So what else did I learn in 10 years? Well, here's what I learned. I learned that it doesn't get easier. it doesn't get easier, because at some point you plateau. At some point it feels like, man, is my body, is my body, is anything changing? And I went through a period where I felt like I wasn't getting stronger, um, until I, had to kind of make some tweaks and changes. And, this year, I'm probably the strongest I've ever been this year. And I'm 52 going on 53. So when I was 45, no, I'm 50 going on 53. I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life, which is like a testament. I'm doing 500 push-ups a day. I'm lifting weights. Like, I'm literally like, wow, I feel powerful now. But here's the thing. It started with consistency. It's saying that, hey, what is my objective? My objective went from losing weight, because anything that you lose, you look to find it. Have you ever heard that? Like, if you're trying to lose weight, you might lose it and then you find it back. Like, because your body's like, well, I lost it, but I need to find it. So that's why many people who go on a weight loss journey, you find that they tend to gain the weight back because they didn't have the proper objective. So the objective I set out for was, wow, when I'm 70, when I'm 80, when I'm up in age, I'm still looking like a person. If I'm 80, I'm still looking 40, 50 years old. But it was like, man, you look great. That was the desire. It's the intention. And then lastly, the last thing that I learned over the past 10 years is this: that time is going to go anyway. Anyway. So think about it. If the year is going to go, if the month is going to go, if the decade is going to go by anyway, if I'm here, I might as well. So what I learned is, even if I miss a day, doesn't matter. I'm going back tomorrow. Now, here's the thing though. I made a decision early that I will do what's best for me, even though it feels like pain, even though it feels hard to get up in the morning and go to the gym, even though it feels hard to say no to certain foods, even though it seems hard to, to really stay consistent and intentional on what it is that I have to do, even though it feels hard. When I look back over the 10 years, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. The fact that I can look back and say, well, the time was going to go anyway. And I'm glad I just spent the time moving forward in my life, building a muscle of consistency, building a muscle of discipline, and having the courage to stay the course, even though sometimes you just don't want to do it. So I want you to think back today as we get ready to close here. I want you to think back on 10 years, your last 10 years. And if maybe you've been on and off, or maybe you weren't doing anything. I just want you to say to yourself, the time went by anyway. So whether it takes me a year or 2 years to get to my ideal weight, doesn't matter. The time is going to go by anyway. So don't get caught up in the fact that I want to lose this weight and it's not coming off. Now, here's one thing that I would say to anybody who's saying to themselves, well, Jay, I really want to take the weight off. And I don't want to wait forever for it to happen. And I'm going to just give you some real advice. You can't care what you have to do. I'm saying it again. You can't care what you have to do. You can't care what you have to take out of your diet. You can't care what you have to add into your diet. You can't care that you have to actually do the working out. Because what I didn't tell you is, in the beginning, I was jacked up. It was hard. Like, I was running a mile a day. That was hard. My body did not like it. My body was hurting badly, but I did it anyway. I cut out a lot of things in my diet, and I did it anyway. Because getting to the objective as fast as possible I wanted to see if it was possible. I wanted to see that it was possible. So if you want to get to the objective, don't care about what you eat. Seriously, because the objective, you want to get the wins so that you can say, wow, I did it. But here's the thing, but it's just getting started. So anybody that wants fast results, I can tell you, you can get fast results when you don't care. Like you can fast and lose weight. I remember I fasted for 14 days, with no food. I didn't do it to lose weight, but I sure did take off 15 pounds in the process. I didn't want to. That was too much weight. Now, I'll put it right back on over the next month or so just to get my weight back up. But imagine if you wanted to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds fast. Fast for 3 days and then cut off, like cut the food down. Eat only protein, lean protein and a few like literally just cut it off. You could do it. So what I learned is that if you would like to get to the result fast, all you have to do is you just have to not care. Don't care about what you have to eat and don't care about the workouts that you have to do. Because by not caring, you will put yourself in a position to get to the objective as fast as possible. So you can have the results. And then that's where you start building the muscle of consistency. So that's what I learned in 10 years. I learned probably a lot more, but that's what I can kind of like pull out right here and right now, 16, 17 minutes on this podcast. So guys, look, go do it yourself. Like if you say, man, I really want to be healthy, man, I really want to be able to, take off the weight, I just want to feel good, then it's all within your control. It's all within your control. Just you got to find out what's the best foods to eat. You got to find out what foods should I eat if I want to lose weight fast. Bam. And then what exercise should I be doing as a newbie, right? Especially if you're not an exercise person. As a newbie, what should I do? Here's what I can tell you. Do some walking, do some body weight squats, do some jumping jacks, do crunches and do some sit. Like you can do all that at home. You don't have to go to a gym. And I would say for anybody that was just getting started, don't go to a gym. Don't get a trainer yet because you got to build up some consistency. And here's the thing. If you have the money to get a trainer, go get it. Go pay. But now you're paying somebody to tell you what to do. And if you're okay with that, then that's what you should do. All right, guys, that's it for today. What I learned in 10 years living healthy intentionally, I'm just super excited that God's gifted me with just the gift of time, right? The time, the 10 years to actually be able to do it and then to come back and say, this is what happened. And one day I'm going to just start walking around with my shirt off. My wife doesn't really want me to do that, but I will because that's a way to say, hey, this is what I used to look like and this is what I look like today. So I'm going to be coming back with that before and after so that you can see exactly what's going on with Genuine Healthy Account. All right, guys, that's it for today. But look, if you are a business owner and you want to learn the game of taxes, make sure you register for the Tax Game Masterclass at the taxgamemasterclass.com. And right there, you register. It's a free event. And the Tax Game Masterclass is being held on August the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I look forward to seeing you there. God bless you, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a